Good evening, everybody. This is Professor Savini. It's Sunday, the 17th of September, and I want to just send to you a brief video on a couple of matters, okay? First of all, again, we're in our module 2 now. You're going through your discussion threads, and you're pointing out how the readings are affecting you, if you will. You're juxtaposing one text against the other, for example, or one philosophy against another, drawing similarities and differences, etc., etc. And although we're not done with Module 2 yet, I want to make sure you all understand that as we go through these next several weeks, your job is to become more virtuous. That's right. Your job is to become better, a better person, a better parent, a better child, sibling, uncle, aunt, employer, employee, consultant, auditor, whatever it may be, whatever role needs to be improved in your life, that's the job that you have, not just in this course, but in life, right? Remember in Boss, the Aristotle quote that really, if you don't become good, a good person, if you don't develop virtue, there's no reason to study ethics. And if that's the case, unless you really want to, stick with this course, if you really don't want to become a better person, maybe you should drop it and take a technical course, right? But if you really care about developing as a professional and as a human being, you will look to yourself and be brutally honest, as we've said before, in these next few weeks that we spend together. And now is kind of a critical time, because as we begin transitioning from Module 2 into Module 3, we're going to be talking about virtuous activities in the sense of integrity and competence, right, on our jobs. But again, what underlies this is the goodness of the person, right? We're all flawed. And as you're starting to see, in the readings, we strive through different frameworks, these different philosophical frameworks on ethics, to become better. Not just a better CPA or a better auditor, but a better person. And when we look at virtue, I want to draw your attention to what you're going to see in Module 3. We're going to begin introducing the notion of religion and how religion, right, may play in our ethics. And it does play a significant role all around the world. A misconception is that religion cannot be used as an equalizer because of the different sects, the different, ideas or conceptions of God or the divine. We have atheists who don't believe in the divine or God. We have agnostics who are just not sure. So people are saying, in some camps, you can't use religion. Well, we need to be careful, because you don't necessarily throw out a framework just because it might not seem to be universal. In fact, religion and its preconceptions are based, in many cases, on sound philosophical reasoning. And as I go through my own life, trying to become more virtuous, right? I recently picked up a text. It is a Buddhist text from the Chinese Buddhists. They are called the Falun Gong. And this is the Falun Dafa, which is a text that talks about virtue and virtuous living. Now, it's not a Western text, right? It's an Asian centric or Chinese and Indian. Actually, if we go back, Buddha came from India. And it's extremely logical. And they too say humans need to become virtuous. If you've heard of the term karma, the Buddhists look at karma as being the bad things that we have done, either in a current life or a past life, that we need to now pay off. And the white karma, right, not the dark stuff, karma is necessarily defined as being dark. But the white, or the good, is virtue. So don't be so quick to discredit religion, if you will, because in many cases the religions have built their thinking on things like Greek philosophers such as Aristotle and Socrates. So that thinking is more along the lines of maybe what some would call natural law. So keep an open mind, that's all I'm saying. I have warned that we should never just look at ethical issues through any one specific, let's say, framework, such as religion. We should look at it through maybe several in order to be fair, to come up with what we think is something that would be morally correct and right. Okay? So that's enough about virtue. If you're interested and you don't know how to get a copy of this text, let me know. But it's excellent reading. Again, some people have said that our study of ethics in the West fails to address the ethical thinking that has originated in the East way before Western civilization even woke up. And this is one of the reasons I began reading some of the Buddhist writings and trying to understand more. So anyway, now let's go to paper one. Paper one, I believe, is due October 1st. I'll be releasing the details to module 3, which will include what I'm basically saying here in writing about paper one. Paper one, you're going to be defining integrity and competence and why it's important. Why it's important to external parties and why it's important for you to practice, right? And I'm going to be asking you to really hone in on integrity and competence and its meaning to the profession. Let's say you're an accountant or a consultant in financial management. How does integrity and competence affect you? I want to hear from you in this paper. The other thing I want you to do is identify challenges that you have in becoming more virtuous in the area of integrity and competence. And you don't have to skirt the issue of virtue. I've received papers from students where they basically said, in some cases, I've had a problem maybe telling the full truth. In essence, giving a lie in order not to rock the boat. That's what you need to do. Try to go through this and say, hey, from a virtuous point of view, is my integrity sound? Is my competence sound? Am I lacking anything? And then I want to hear from you in the paper regarding how you're going to work on these weak areas. What can you do to become more virtuous, having greater integrity, greater competence, okay? The paper should, I would say, those better papers that I've graded give practical examples of where you have failed, where the student has failed. I give you a few of mine too, where over the years I may have made some mistakes, ethical lapses for whatever reason. So what did I learn from that? How did I overcome them? Okay. So those are the things that we're going to be looking forward to. So short today, I'll be releasing module 3, I believe on the 20th. I might do it a little sooner, but I wanted to release this video out to you tonight so you could take a look at it and get yourself ready for paper 1 and the readings in Module 3. Remember, virtue, you're here to become a better person. And if you can't find in yourself the bad person or the bad things, you can't grow, okay? So you understand what I'm saying when I say bad, weaknesses, okay? Not that you're a bad person, but there are attributes that we all have, biases, prejudices, that we have to overcome. Those are the crosses we all bear, okay? We're human, okay? So, with that being said, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you probably next weekend. Take care.